So the question I have is, when you Google search, can you be charged for a murder without a body? I wished he just called me. The allegations that the prosecutors make against Brian Walshe is that that's what he was doing somewhere around 6 in the morning that his wife was dead. And the answer is yes, Brian Walshe. If that's you on the keyboard, the answer is, oh, yeah, it happens a lot. Actually, it happens more and more because forensics are getting really good. Here's the bigger question. Do the prosecutors have enough to charge you with murder one? Murder one, and you're going away in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for life. And no, you're not going to get the death penalty. They don't have it there. But murder two, heat of passion. Oh, my God, we had a fight, and we pushed each other around, and she fell, and she hit her head, and oh, the blood, and I was so scared. That's different. And you don't go for life necessarily. You can get out in 15 years. I want to bring in DiBiase. He's a former prosecuting attorney who actually specializes in putting people away in cases with no bodies. So that's your specialty. And I want to dig into that with you, but not before I start with that other stuff. Because if you got a search at December 27th saying, what's the best state to divorce if you're a man, that looks like premeditation to me, but not perfect. Right? You can still have a fight about divorce and have an accident. And if you are then making your 5th Google search once the body is there saying, how long for someone to be missing to inherit? You're looking for her money within hours of her dying. Tad, is this enough for murder one?
Hi, Ashleigh. Thanks for having me on, first of all. And yes, I do think it's enough for murder one for a couple of reasons. I agree with you. The only search we have before January 1st is the one related to divorce, which is helpful, but I don't think it's enough to kind of push you over the edge to say this is definitely premeditation. You have the following searches, the 20-some searches that are all extremely damning and do show some indication of planning and deliberation, even though they occur most likely after the murder happens. So you have that, which is helpful. But also, under Massachusetts law, first-degree murder is premeditation, which you touched on. It's felony murder, which I don't think we have here. That is a murder committed during the commission of a felony. But there's also a third way under first-degree murder in Massachusetts, and that's if the murder happened with extreme atrocity or cruelty. I think that's going to be an easier one, even more so.
I have covered so many cases when if you don't know what the circumstances are, it's so hard for a jury to believe that we can just imagine the atrocity. I mean, if I were a defense attorney, I could think up a million ways that there could be an accidental death and a panic and a cleanup. And as horrendous as this cleanup is, you've got to prove to a jury he intended to kill her. Look at all this evidence. It's irrefutable. There's no reasonable doubt here that he didn't do it. I don't know, unless there's so much we don't have yet.
Right. I'm not saying it's a slam dunk for first degree. I do think most no-body murder cases, they default to second degree because, as you pointed out, Ashleigh, crime of passion, 2 people in an argument, he pushes her, he shoves her, whatever he does, she falls down, she hits her head, she's knocked out, oh my God, she's dead. That is the more common scenario, and certainly it is more common in no-body murder cases to have a second degree charge versus a first-degree charge. The thing that helps this case is there is an overwhelming amount of evidence, and I think a prosecutor could spin this into showing extreme atrocity or cruelty, that type of thing. That said, even with
I thought that in Casey. I thought that in Casey Anthony, and I was fooled in that trial. Will you come back again? There's so much more I want to talk to you about when it comes to the details in this case, and that we're only just getting more.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right, Tad DiBiase, great to have you. Thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.